Hey everyone, and welcome. So if you've ever scrolled through photos of Tokyo and just been totally captivated by those glowing red lanterns and incredibly narrow smoke-filled alleys, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're zeroing in on one of Tokyo's most beautifully chaotic culinary spots. We're going to dive right into this survival guide, and by the end of this explainer, you'll have the exact playbook you need to navigate this maze like a seasoned local. You'll know exactly where to sit, what to order, and really just how to conquer Omoide Yokocho.
All right, here's our game plan for today. 1. Welcome to Omoide Yokocho. 2. Decoding the counters. 3. The legendary institutions. 4. The art of bar hopping. And finally 5. Rules and etiquette. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Omoide Yokocho.
Okay, so for a first-timer, walking up to the mouth of this alley can be, well, it's a sensory playground, right? It's incredibly exciting, but maybe just a little bit intimidating too. I want you to imagine the rich, intense smell of charcoal and grilled meat just wafting through the air. And then picture 80, yes, 80 tiny independent counters packed densely into just 2 super narrow lanes. It looks like absolute chaos at first glance, but there's actually a distinct, wonderful rhythm to it once you understand what you're looking at. It's just this extraordinary concentration of culinary history right in Shinjuku, bursting with energy and a really cool mix of devoted locals and curious travelers.
Now, a really common question people have is, what exactly are these places? Are they bars? Are they restaurants? Well, overwhelmingly, they are izakayas. If you're not familiar, an izakaya is basically a Japanese counterpub that just beautifully blurs the line between eating and drinking. The food and drinks arrive together, sort of as a package deal for your evening. You know, you're rarely going to find a sit-down restaurant with traditional tables here. And a bar that serves absolutely zero food? Even rarer. Mostly, you're looking at these intimate 5 to 10 seat counters serving up skewers and cold drinks.
Moving on to Section 2, Decoding the counters.
Before you even think about pulling up a stool, you really need to know how to read the room. From the outside, a lot of these counters might look totally identical, but they actually split into very distinct categories, and knowing these is an absolute game changer. For example, if you want classic chicken skewers and a really smoky vibe, you're looking for a Yakitori counter, which is perfect for first-timers, by the way. Feeling a bit more adventurous? You'll want to seek out a Motsuyaki counter for grilled offal, which, fun fact, is actually the alley's true specialty. An izakaya will give you small dishes if you want a slightly longer sit, while a standing bar, or tachinomi, is your best bet for a cheap, fast single round of drinks. And of course, the ramen spots are waiting there to cap off your night.
So how do you actually pick the right physical seat? I absolutely love this insight from editor Claire Whitmore. She says, if you're flying solo or maybe feeling a bit nervous, do not go for the completely empty counter. And obviously, you want to avoid the pack scrum. Instead, aim for a counter with just 1 or 2 free seats. Why? Because a half-full counter means the grill cook actually has a second to, welcome you and settle you in. Plus, the regulars are already relaxed. It's honestly an expert cheat code for finding a comfortable, welcoming vibe right off the bat. Section 3, the legendary institutions.
Let's zoom in on a few specific anchor points within the alley. Now, trusting your nose is a great strategy, sure, but knowing a few of the legendary names can really elevate your whole experience. First up, we have some historic heavyweights, like Kabuto, which has been around since 1948. This is the alley's undisputed eel specialist. They grill unagi over premium benchotan charcoal, and they serve literally everything from the head to the tail. It's tiny, no frills, and has a massively devoted following, so yeah, expect a line. Then there's Horaiya. They actually claim the title of the very first Motsuyaki, or grilled offal, counter in the entire alley. So if you want to experience Omoide Yokocho's signature dish from the original master, this is exactly where you start.
But hey, if you're looking for a slightly easier entry point, Tonchan specializes in pork offal and is notably super friendly to foreigners. They even have some English-speaking staff, so it's a wonderfully safe first stop if the language barrier has you a little stressed. On the flip side, if you want a place where you can settle in a bit longer, Yasubee has been open since 1951. Locals consider it to have the widest sake selection in the whole alley, plus they serve this famous, incredibly rich beef stew that is just out of this world.
Now, for more specialized, somewhat wild offerings, there's Asadachi. They really push the boundaries of your standard menu. They serve unique and certainly controversial options like frog, soft-shell turtle, and even whale tartare. It definitely caters to the ultra-curious traveler wanting to step way outside their comfort zone. But honestly, it's a fascinating stop just to observe, even if you decide to stick to their gentler options like the grilled tofu.
The variety packed into these two lanes is just staggering. Take Sushitatsu. It's the single Edo-style sushi counter in the entire alley, run by an owner with 70 years of experience. Then there's Tonchan, known for incredible charcoal skewers and a very famous chicken meatball called tsukune. But get this, there is also Tajimaya. It's a Showa-era coffee house right in the middle of all the smoke, where they actually hand sift and roast their own beans. It just proves there really is something for everyone here, even if you're just hunting for a quiet cup of coffee. And rounding it out is Gifuya, which is the definitive late-night ramen stop before you have to sprint to catch your final train.
Here's a brilliant piece of advice from food and drink writer Ryo Takeda. He says, if the cook offers you omakase, which basically translates to "I'll leave it up to you," take it. By handing over control to the grill master, you're not just pointing at the safe, standard tourist options. You're actually getting the cuts the chef is genuinely proud of on that specific night. It is absolutely the best way to experience these tiny counters and build a bit of a bond with the person cooking for you.
All right, Section 4. The Art of Bar Hopping.
So, we know where to eat, but now we really need to talk about how to execute the perfect night out here. The absolutely crucial point to remember is to treat each stop as a single chapter of your evening, not the whole book. You want to follow this incredibly efficient 4-step loop. Step 1, start early. Try to get there around 5 to 6 p.m. while seats are actually still available. Step 2, order a drink and just 2 or 3 skewers. Don't overorder. Step 3, pay in cash, thank the cook, and move on after about 20 minutes. Because these counters are so ridiculously small, keeping the social energy flowing and making room for the next person is key. And finally, Step 4, work your way down the lane and finish your whole night with a comforting, warming bowl of ramen.
Finally, Section 5. Rules and Etiquette.
To truly navigate Omoide Yokocho like a seasoned insider and blend in seamlessly, you just need these last few pieces of cultural knowledge. First, let's demystify a couple of terms you'll definitely encounter. Otoshi is a small seating charge that's extremely standard across Japanese bars. It almost always comes with a small appetizer, so don't be caught off guard when you see a slight bump on your final bill. It's totally normal. Secondly, look out for the Noren. This is that short cloth curtain you see hanging at the doorway. When the Noren is hung up, the counter is open and ready for you. But when they take it down, that means they are closed for the night, so don't try to sneak in.
Okay, here are the golden rules of spatial etiquette. Number 1, please keep your groups small, 2 or 3 people max. A party of 8 simply is not going to fit at a 5-seat counter, right? Number 2, if you take up a seat at a food counter, you've got to order food. Please don't take a stool from a hungry diner just to nurse a single beer. Order a skewer or 2 to earn your seat. Number 3, cash is absolutely king here. Have your bills ready. And lastly, my favorite rule of thumb for finding the most authentic spots. Follow the local salarymen, not the tourists swinging selfie sticks around.
Well, we've covered the history, the hidden rules, and the incredible, chaotic taxonomy of these 80 tiny counters. So I want to leave you with this question. When you finally step into those glowing, smoke-filled lanes of Omoide Yokocho, which counter are you going to brave first? Are you going to ease in with the safe, familiar comfort of smoky yakitori? Or are you going to dive right into the deep end with the adventurous soft-shell turtle? The beauty of this alley is that both choices are entirely valid and totally unforgettable. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay curious and happy exploring.